All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Lonzo Ball Chicago Bulls video. If you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I post Bulls content just about every single day. I know you guys would like the content. So it appears, honestly, as if Lonzo Ball might actually be headed to the Chicago Bulls. Now, I've made a few videos on my opinion on Lonzo. I've made a few videos on my opinion on what the Bulls should do this offseason. I agree that Lonzo Ball doesn't necessarily turn the Chicago Bulls into a right-away championship contender. However, it moves the needle enough, in my opinion, that he is our best option. And with Chicago not really being a major player market right now, not too many superstars are deciding to come to the Chicago Bulls, I think this is a step in the right direction. Now, the Bulls will have to figure out the next couple of years salary-wise, having Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and Lonzo Ball on the team, but also considering this is Zach LaVine's last season of his contract, I think this is a major step in the right direction to locking Zach LaVine up long-term. I think it starts with getting a player like Lonzo Ball, and then it ends with making the playoffs and actually improving, looking better as the season goes on, beating some good teams, and maybe even moving past the first round of the playoffs. Now, it just genuinely looks like the Lonzo Ball sweepstakes are coming to an end. The Chicago Bulls are reportedly the clear frontrunner for Lonzo. The Bulls have tried to get Lonzo Ball in recent years. They've been tied to him several different times, but the backcourt fit of Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball might actually be a reality here. With Lonzo being such an elite perimeter defender, they can really just deploy him on the opposing team's best backcourt scorer. And that's something that you couldn't do with Kobe White on the team. Kobe White is not a good defender, and it just wasn't something that you could do. That leaves Zach LaVine way more free reign to operate on offense. And then Lonzo is a significantly better playmaker than Kobe White, averaging 6.5 assists for his entire career. He's also got a sweet three-point stroke. Now, obviously, until pen hits paper, it wouldn't be a confirmed deal, but I gotta say, it sounds pretty realistic here. The one downside with getting Lonzo Ball to the Chicago Bulls is definitely going to be his contract. For the reasons I mentioned earlier in the video, Chicago not necessarily being a big free agent destination right now, not making the playoffs in 4+ years, it's going to most likely have to result in us overpaying Lonzo Ball. I don't think that's the end of the world, because I would much rather move forward with Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine as the 1-2 backcourt duo for years to come. Nikola Vucevic, he's already 30. I don't think that they'll re-sign him once his contract's up unless it's for significantly cheaper. So Nikola Vucevic, I'm not really looking at being a Chicago Bull for the extreme long term, like a guy like Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine. Like, those guys could be the face of the franchise for years to come. I would estimate his contract's probably going to be around the $20 to $25 million a year. You might have to pay him $25 million a year to come play for the Chicago Bulls. It seems like the New Orleans Pelicans aren't interested in him really one bit. It seems like that salary dump that they did draft day, I think that was day before the draft, 2 days before the draft, whenever that was, it seems like that salary dump was to go all in on Kyle Lowry. So it seems like the Pelicans want Kyle Lowry, Zion Williamson, and Brandon Ingram as their big three. So that should leave Lonzo Ball sweepstakes relatively easy for the Bulls to get. I think the Knicks are interested in him. They've got the salary, but they might have their eyes set on more big-time players, more proven players as they try to make a deep playoff run. Now, I do want to talk about Derrick Rose, because there have been linked reports, Derrick Rose to the Chicago Bulls, and I'm not really buying the legitimacy of it 100%, just because that's not really in the Chicago. That's not really what the Chicago Bulls are like. You don't really get that too much. I've made videos on my thoughts about Derrick Rose coming to the Bulls. I admit he is a step up I think he's a nice step up from Kobe White. However, only averaged 4 assists last season. I don't think he's that much better of a defender. And he's just not really what the Bulls are looking for. On that bench, we need not elite, but we need good defensive wings. Every team needs good defensive wings. And, Derrick Rose isn't the worst, but I don't think he fits our timetable. I don't think he fits our timeline. Although a reunion would be probably the best thing ever to happen. I mean, come back to your roots. Derrick Rose in his career averages 18.5 points and 5.5 assists. If we were getting that Derrick Rose, totally different conversation, but the Bulls definitely need a facilitator. They need a guy who can get the ball to their teammates. And Derrick Rose isn't necessarily, in my opinion, the best fit to be our bench point guard. However, if the Bulls were to sign Derrick Rose, it wouldn't be the end of it. You're not getting complaints out of me. I would not be too frustrated with that move. I just don't think that it's going to happen. I don't think it's that realistic. Maybe next year. Who knows about next year? But Derrick Rose, he's definitely got some gas left in the tank. He's 32 years old. You could say he's only 32 or already 32. But he was a huge factor in the New York Knicks playoff run last season. 14.5 points per game, 4.2 assists, 50 games played. Started it in Detroit, got traded, and did a great job in New York. The last thing I want to talk about real briefly is the Chicago Bulls have some decisions to make. And by the time you watch this video, they might have already made their decisions on if they are going to fully guarantee Tomas Satoransky, if they're going to fully guarantee Thaddeus Young. My guess and my hope is that they do fully guarantee their contracts, because that leaves the door open to a trade where you can just get rid of those contracts fully. And that combined, their salaries are $24 million. Now, I'm more of a fan of Thaddeus Young. Tomas Satoransky, not a huge fan of him. I really just want the Chicago Bulls to sign Lonzo Ball, and then Kobe White can come off the bench. Hopefully he's an improved playmaker, because he was improving on that end at the end of last season. So I think Kobe White's going to take that step up. Tomas Satoransky doesn't move the needle to start. He's a solid backup point guard. However, I just think that with AO, I just don't know. I think he will get traded at some point in the season. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. It is greatly appreciated. Plenty of Bulls content coming your way. Let me know down below in the comments if you want Lonzo to sign with the Bulls, and I'll see you guys later.